guys, Christina and Josh. We're going to talk about lead arm in the backswing.
Yeah.
You know how far he kills it? He kills it. Yeah, we're going to talk about the lead arm and how it works in the backswing. We're going to clear up a lot of maybe misconceptions. Players trying to get their hands high, not sure how to do it. How much should it elevate? We're going to cover all that, right?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right, so when you set up, okay, go ahead and set up. And setup is really important. Yeah, we'll go down the line. When we talk about how the lead arm works in the backswing, okay, once again, there are things in the setup that can possibly influence that, okay? So go ahead and set up.
You want me to face camera?
Yeah, we'll go down the line view with the camera, yep. So what I typically like to see is when the golfer sets up, I like to see this humerus hang anywhere from 90 degrees to kind of 80 degrees this way, okay? Now, what that tells me is that if you let go of the club and you just let your arms hang, okay, where they are hanging in respect to your body, so you can kind of see when they hang, that's hanging pretty close to that 90-degree mark. So if you go ahead and set up, okay, the further the humerus is this way, okay, that's going to allow the arms to work more in front of you this way, okay? If you set up and those arms get closer to your chest, now, naturally by default, the arms will tend to work a little bit more across you, and it will load that lead arm more across your chest. So a lot of times people set up with their arms too close to the body, and then this arm ends up getting stuck on their chest, pulling their left arm across their body, and then as a result, their right arm will have to escape behind them. So I think that's really, really important because I see that a lot.
All right, cool. So here's what I see a lot. I see a lot of players taking their hands way too far away from their body. So there's a fine line between taking it out here. So if we're here we're not 90, we're like say 87, and we let momentum, we do our pressure, boom. We're not changing the distance. Our hands aren't moving away from our body. They're just kind of moving straight back.
Yeah, remember that club, we want that club, or I want that club, I shouldn't speak for you, is as you shift to the right, okay, it's going to work, it's going to start to arc inwards. So you can kind of see how it's naturally starting to swing back, up, and around this way. So when we look at from the down the line view, okay, if I hold this stick here, I don't want the hands basically running into the stick. I'd want them staying somewhat pretty much inside that stick as they go back.
All right, good.
Does that make sense?
We are on.
So we're on the same page. Yeah, I think that it's all about kind of looking at the opposite sides of the spectrum and then getting people to find that middle ground. So pretty much just to recap that, go ahead and set up. If the player sets up, I imagine that the hands, okay, even though the club's going back straight, it's working up and working back in, right? The hands don't hit the stick. Perfect.
Yeah, and they don't go too inside or outside.
Right, because if they went too far outside, you'd actually hit this stick.
Yeah.
So having that reference point can kind of help you understand where you need to go.
Yeah, so I like to tell players just to drag their hands straight back. You know?
I think that works a lot.
What do you use for a cue?
So when I'm going myself, I like to connect my body motion to the club head.
For sure.
Yeah, so in my mind, I'm trying to think about using my body, and how I move my body, I'm connecting that awareness to the club head. The way I like to describe it is, or the easiest way I can correlate this is like, if I was throwing a ball and it was heavy in my hand, I would still have that awareness of where that's at towards the end, right? I wouldn't necessarily be thinking about my elbow position. I'd feel the weight of it kind of swinging. Same thing with the club head. I like to feel my core, but then I like to feel the head actually swinging from how I'm moving my body.
Oh, so you focus on the weight of the club
Weight
head?
of the club head, yes.
That's your focus, not your hands.
Not my hands, yeah.
That's a good
The hands are moving with how I move my body, but I love sensing kind of how the weight of the head is moving. This is why we actually were just talking about swing weight, actually.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be able to feel that club head.
Oh, yeah. Because that is what's hitting the ball.
Yeah, it is. If you can't feel that club head, in my opinion, it's tough to control what's going on.
That's a good point. Excellent point. And I really like the idea of swinging the club back. A lot of players try to get their club like into position versus letting the momentum of the club head
swinging.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and ironically, by you getting the club swinging, your positions were very good, right? That looks like a very good golf. And this, in my opinion, is what, you know, we look at this, it was a lot more, you saw a lot more of the old school guys doing it, right? They looked like they had a lot more flow to their golf swing. Today, the modern swing looks a little bit more kind of like put together. There's a time and a place for structure, okay? But ultimately, I think where people fail in this process is their mind is that it's structured their whole time, right? You want to get enough structure so that you could then control it in the dynamics, right? Or through the dynamics, I should say. But, you know, it shouldn't always be positions, 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 just like it can't always be dynamics. You want a healthy blend of the two.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys have any questions about this, leave a comment. All right, Josh, make sure you head over to his channel, Hit Bombs. Leave a comment for either one of us here at the bottom and let us know if this all makes sense.